Why do women deserve more money?
Women should have more money because they have period cramps. They need to give birth.
The opening moments of the video dive straight into a controversial statement regarding women's compensation in sports, immediately framing a narrative that drives the entire commentary. When players or sports personalities argue for financial adjustments based on biological differences or unique human experiences, it frequently triggers polarizing reactions from sports analysts and casual viewers alike. The host seizes upon this quote to question the rationale behind tying compensation metrics to personal physiological realities instead of standard sports economics, viewing it as a disconnect from what everyday spectators tune in to witness. This segment sets a confrontational tone, highlighting the ongoing tension between professional athletic salaries, league revenue generation, and public statements made by prominent figures in women's sports. It forces the audience to confront how players articulate their value to the public, setting up a broader discussion about messaging, public relations, and what fans actually care about when consuming sports content. Moreover, this audio clip serves as a lightning rod for debates surrounding equity versus mainstream entertainment value. By focusing on comments that venture outside traditional athletic performance discussions, the commentary illustrates the tightrope high-profile athletes walk when addressing social and economic issues. Ultimately, this initial clip establishes a critical framework for evaluating how league players communicate with their fan bases and how those messages are received by mainstream sports consumers who prefer a strict focus on on-court action.
And we got Paige Bueckers admitting that she's jealous. She's envious of the popularity that Caitlin Clark's got.
This segment tackles the emotional and psychological undercurrents within professional locker rooms, specifically addressing admissions of envy regarding unprecedented superstar popularity. In elite sports environments where parity, competition, and spotlight dictate cultural relevance, acknowledging feelings of jealousy toward a peer's meteoric rise is a rare and revealing moment. The commentary explores how the massive wave of attention surrounding figures like Caitlin Clark reshapes internal dynamics, creating both friction and moments of raw honesty among rival elite athletes. For sports commentators, these admissions offer a fascinating window into the competitive psyche, demonstrating that even top-tier talents grapple with the shifting landscapes of fame, media coverage, and fan adoration. It highlights how mainstream visibility is distributed unevenly across a league, sparking intense discussions about marketability, player likability, and the commercial factors that drive viewership numbers higher. Analyzing these interpersonal dynamics allows viewers to understand the broader ecosystem of women's basketball, where athletic excellence alone is sometimes overshadowed by narratives of popularity, branding, and cultural impact. The commentary highlights the dual nature of such confessions. While some applaud the rare display of transparency, others use it to fuel existing rivalries and fan-based divisions. This portion of the video underscores how deeply player sentiment is intertwined with public perception, making off-court psychological factors just as prominent as box score statistics in modern sports media discussions.
Most of these players walk around acting like somebody owes them something, they're entitled, and that they're mad at the world. Oh yeah, I can't wait to tune in and watch that crap. Plus, these lifestyles are just wild. You got one player out there right now talking about another player done slept around with I don't know how many other players.
The discussion shifts toward the complexities of fan engagement and how lifestyle narratives or off-court controversies influence casual viewership. The commentary argues that everyday sports fans look for an escape through athletic competition rather than an immersion into interpersonal drama or social activism. When leagues or players lean heavily into non-basketball storylines, it can create a polarizing effect that alienates potential mainstream audiences who simply want to evaluate talent based on competitive merit. This segment serves as a critique of modern sports culture, where social media presence, personal lives, and off-court statements often compete with game highlights for public attention. The host emphasizes that the traditional sports demographic values accessibility, wholesome entertainment, and straightforward athletic integrity, making any deviation from those elements a potential deterrent for television ratings. By contrasting the desire for pure athletic entertainment with the reality of league discourse, this section touches on the strategic challenges facing sports executives trying to capture a wider, more diverse casual fan base. It raises vital questions about whether modern athletes should focus strictly on their craft or continue utilizing their platforms for broader cultural commentary, knowing full well the risks associated with turning off traditional sports consumers. Ultimately, this clip encapsulates the ongoing battle for the soul and mainstream appeal of women's professional sports.
There's ulterior motives. Caitlin Clark said right in an interview with ESPN 2 days ago and said, I want the conversation to be about basketball. Well, Caitlin, you're having a lot of problems because none of your other fellow players want it to be about basketball.
Focusing on the core desire to keep the spotlight strictly on the game itself, this segment highlights the frustration felt by players and analysts when external narratives overshadow athletic achievement. When major stars explicitly express a desire for conversations to center around basketball rather than peripheral controversies, it underscores a collective yearning for athletic purity. The commentary examines the friction between players who wish to keep their legacy defined by their on-court performance and a broader league culture that often gets bogged down by external debates. This desire for a basketball-first paradigm is presented as essential for long-term growth and sustained fan loyalty, as casual viewers ultimately reward authentic athletic excellence above all else. The discussion reinforces the idea that true sporting momentum relies on letting the games speak for themselves, minimizing distractions that can dilute the purity of professional competition. By drawing attention to these quotes, the host highlights the stark contrast between athletes who champion traditional sports values and the turbulent media environment surrounding them. It provides a reflective conclusion to the video's core argument that sports leagues thrive best when the primary product, the game, remains the central focus of every broadcast, discussion, and fan interaction. As the video reaches its concluding moments, the host wraps up a passionate, unfiltered exploration of the state of women's professional basketball, summarizing the complex web of player statements, public relations challenges, and fan reactions. Throughout this deep dive, the commentary has navigated the turbulent waters of modern sports media, addressing everything from player compensation arguments and internal psychological hurdles to the broader impact of superstar popularity on league-wide dynamics. By analyzing these varied clips, viewers are invited to reflect on the delicate balance professional leagues must maintain between promoting athletic excellence and managing public narratives that either attract or repel casual sports fans. The discussion ultimately circles back to the foundational principle that sustainable sports growth relies on authenticity, compelling competition, and keeping the focus squarely on the game rather than distracting external noise. As sports culture continues to evolve in the digital age, the insights shared in this broadcast highlight the ongoing conversations shaping how fans consume, critique, and celebrate athletic achievement. The host encourages audience participation, reminding viewers to continue the conversation through likes, comments, and subscriptions while tuning in for future episodes of Black and White Sports to catch more unfiltered takes on the biggest stories in the athletic world. Thank you for following along with this detailed breakdown, and stay tuned for more comprehensive analysis on upcoming sports events.